You are watching Frankly Speaking Sports, live from Charlotte, North Carolina. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Frankly Speaking Sports. I'm your host, Larry Frank, and what a great night we have in store for you this evening. Just a great night. Anytime the Carolina Panthers end up with a win, it's a great day to start off a Monday evening. But we had a lot of good things go on here in the Carolina area, and we're going to talk to you about them. And, of course, we're going to talk about the big Carolina Panthers win over the division rival Atlanta Falcons. We'll talk about the Hornets, keep you updated on that game going on and how their season's going. We'll even talk some World Series baseball. Braves needing one win to capture the World Series championship. And then, of course, an 8-0, that's right, I said 8-0 start by the Carolina Hurricanes to open up the NHL season. Just lots and lots of great things to talk about here on Frankly Speaking Sports. Want to thank you all very much, all of you on Facebook, on YouTube Live, Twitch Live, Tobacco Road Sports Radio, all of you. Thank you very much for going ahead and allowing us the opportunity to come into your living rooms this evening. We do have a phone number on the bottom. Once again, if you want to call in, leave comments, either way, talk about the big win, whether it's from the Hurricanes, the Panthers, the Hornets, even the Braves. Go ahead and do so. It's a great time right now to be a Carolina fan, and it was a great time yesterday to be a Carolina Panther fan as the Carolina Panthers moved to 4-4 as they defeated the Falcons 19-13. And boy, oh boy, we said it on Thursday night on Frankly Speaking Panthers that there was a number of different things that if the Carolina Panthers could do, they would win this game. And boy, did they ever go out and execute those things that we talked about. Just a great job, And, I know I heard a lot of people. I'm listening to some sports radio today, and you hear some people saying, don't get excited. It's only the Falcons. Well, let's stop this bull crap right now. Okay, the Atlanta Falcons is a team that coming into this game had won 3 of their last 4 games, okay? They are an NFL team, okay? And any single day, you saw what the Saints did to the Buccaneers yesterday. Okay, on any given day, any team can beat any team in the NFL. And I thought the Panthers had a terrific game plan. They went in there. They did the things they needed to do. And oh, by the way, they are now 4-4 on the season. And if the season was to end today, now, Carolina fans, listen to what I'm saying. This marks the halfway point in the season, okay? There's 17 games. We played 8 games. Close enough. It marks halfway in the season. And if the season ended today, your Carolina Panthers would make the playoffs. So stop bitching, stop complaining. This is a team that has the potential to do very well. Now, there's some questions going to be coming up, and we'll talk about the Sam Darnold situation a little bit later in the show. He got banged up yesterday. He is in concussion protocol, so we do not have that answer of whether he will play or not. So if you're going to ask that question, I'll save you the time. I'll save you the energy. Right now, it is day to day. They have to see how he does, how he reacts, and we'll find out hopefully by Thursday or Friday whether Sam Darnold. If not, they're going to go to P.J. Walker. Okay, he is going to be the starting quarterback should Sam Darnold not be able to go. So don't expect us to bring in another quarterback unless it's something for a long amount of time, which I don't see that happening. But let's get to the game yesterday. That's what everybody wants to talk about. Okay, the first point that we talked about on Thursday night, I'm going to run this down. We talked about the defense. Gilmore and Thompson were two of the four people that we expected back on defense, that they had to put pressure on Matt Ryan if they won the game. They also have to contain Matt Ryan, and they did both of those things yesterday. Not only they had 6 pass deflections, they sacked Ryan 3 times, only allowed him 146 yards through the air, and they forced him to throw 2 interceptions. I would say a very, very above average job by the defense. And I said on Thursday night, folks, that I'm not going to talk about the defense. And people said, why aren't you going to talk about the defense? Because the defense is good enough. They are a top defense in this league. There is no reason to talk about this defense. They know what they have to do on a game basis, and they come out and do it and did an excellent job. I said they would have to establish the run. 72 plays we ran yesterday. 47 of those 72 plays were rushes for 203 rushing yards. Okay, anytime you're able to run the ball, and we said this Thursday night, you open up the opportunity to not be predictable. And yesterday, they weren't predictable. When Darnold was in that game, he was throwing bullets. He was not only throwing bullets, but he was throwing accurate bullets. And that ball had an unbelievable rotation on it. And, of course, a couple of missed drops. Again, one by Robbie Anderson again. But otherwise, Sam Darnold played an outstanding game. No interceptions, mistake-free. And what a great job by, you look at that game and it started off bad. Chuba fumbles on the first place from scrimmage. You're like, oh, no, here we go again. This is going to be a long, long day. But it wasn't. Hubbard came back, had a touchdown rush, a big touchdown rush to give us a lead. He had 82 yards rushing. Darnold, 66 yards rushing, using his legs. How about Amir Abdullah? What a pickup he was, and he showed it yesterday. 31 yards rushing, but he was able to catch passes out of the backfield. And then Royce Freeman with 25 yards. So 203 yards rushing on 47 rushes. What a great, great, great job. What a great, great game plan by both Matt Rule and Joe Brady. And it worked, and it worked, and it worked. And people say, well, what do you do next week? We'll talk about that next week. Said the receivers had to catch the ball. That's still an opportunity, a little bit better, but still don't know what's going on with Robbie Anderson. Don't know what's going on in that head of his, but hopefully he will get out of it. I thought by playing the RPO and allowing us the opportunity to run so well, it mixed up the defense. They weren't sure what we were going to throw at them. And when you're not sure what we're going to throw at them, they don't know what defense to play. They don't know whether to play back on their heels or play forward on their toes. And that's why we were able to be successful. The running game opens up so many things. We said to win in the trenches. And for those of you fans that all week and all year have been giving this offensive line so much crap about the way they've been playing. They deserve a game ball for the performance they had yesterday. What a great, great job. And when you run the ball as much as they did, it is easier for the offensive line. I said that again on Frankly Speaking Sports. They love to go ahead and play rush defense, and look at the holes they were opening up. They weren't just opening up holes, folks. They were opening up gaps yesterday for Hubbard, for Freeman, for Abdullah, for Donald. It was incredible to see how well this offensive line isn't bad. This team isn't bad. The problem was the system they were using was not conducive for the offense. And they finally figured out the right system. And oh my goodness, when you put the right system in place and you execute like everybody did yesterday, it's a thing of beauty. That is the right system for this team. You don't have the wrong players. You actually have very talented and capable players on this Carolina Panther team. The problem was the system was incorrect. And now you got to see the correct system in place, like Matt Rule has been talking about, and how he's been wanting to play this for the entire season. And it finally got to tuition yesterday. And guess what? It worked like a thing of beauty. Like a thing of beauty, and a great, great job. The offensive line allowed no sacks. Now remember, no sacks yesterday. I don't even think Donald was really pressured. And this is a team that in the first 7 games of the season had given up 24 sacks. So a great, great job. We talked about win the turnover battle. First play of the game. Chuba Hubbard grabs the ball, fumbles. Oh, no. But that was the only turnover for the Panthers in the entire game. They ended up with 2 interceptions, one by Shaq Thompson, who was his first game back, and how about Stephen Gilmore sealing it with another interception at the end of the game. Third down conversions. We talked about how we have to keep the other team from executing and how we have to execute. Whoa, Panther fans, tell me how this sounds, baby. Panthers 10 of 17. 10 of 17. Over 50% on third downs. The Falcons only 3 of 10. You won the battle of third down conversions. What else does that do for your offense? It sustains long drives. And how much and how often have we talked about sustaining long drives so the defense gets to stay fresh and stays on the sidelines while your offense is on the field? Yesterday, time of possession, the Panthers, 35 minutes and 23 seconds, while the Falcons only had it 24 minutes and 37 seconds. What did that do? That kept our defense fresh. And every single down that defense was on the field, it showed how rested it is. It showed how energized it was. It showed how fired up they were. And at the end of the day, they prevailed because they were fresh. And that's how the offense makes the defense better. The offense yesterday made that defense better because of its ability to sustain long drives and keep the running game going for 203 yards. Sustain long drives, 72 plays for the Panthers on offense compared to the Falcons' 50 plays on offense. Just an incredible, incredible game. Those were the keys to the game we talked about. The only thing that I didn't like from yesterday's game was we're still getting some penalties, but I'm not going to cry over spilled milk. We played a terrific game yesterday, an unbelievable game, and I want to make sure that we give credit where credit was due, because besides the offensive line, give another game ball to Zane Gonzalez, who was 4 for 4 with a huge 57-yard field goal before the half, 1 for 1 on extra points. Understand this, and I don't know if anybody realizes it, but the Carolina Panthers are the only NFC South team, the only, not the Buccaneers, not the Saints, not the Falcons. They're the only team that has not lost to an NFC South opponent this year. The Bucs lost to the Saints yesterday, okay? And of course, now the Carolina Panthers are 2-0 against division rivals. Also, give the coaches credit. We talk about a game ball to the other two, the offensive line, to Zane Gonzalez, but let's also give credit where credit's due. Matt Rule wanted this done earlier than they were able to break it out. Unfortunately, for some reason, whether it was the coaching staff and Joe Brady not listening or just not feeling it was the opportune time, I don't know. I'm not going to sit here. I'm not going to make excuses. But at the end of the day, this plan that they've been working on came into fruition yesterday, and it was unbelievable to see this plan work out. Now, we got a clip here. I want to thank the Carolina Panthers for allowing us the opportunity to use this from the press conference yesterday, earlier today with Matt Rule, and he talked about 3 things that he forgot to mention after yesterday's game. Let's go ahead and listen to the coach.
Hey, just 3 things. I wish I would have said this after the game. I was obviously pretty excited after the game and tired too, so I should have said it. But number one, I wanted to make sure I recognized what a great job that Zane did. I thought that was one of the key factors in the game. For us to get points right before the half, for him to kick the 57-yard field goal, career long. I know it's a dome, but the doors were open, the wind was blowing, there was a 12-mile-an-hour wind. So I thought Zane was exceptional yesterday in kicking the ball off through the end zone. So credit to him, Chase Blackburn, and all those guys. That's just gotten better and better and better every week. Number 2, I thought our fans there were awesome. There was a large contingency there. I know it's Halloween. I know that, but there were a lot of people out there with Panthers jerseys on and walking off the field at the end. There was a whole group. So I want to thank all those fans. When we've been on the road this year, there's been a lot of people. And then third, I know you guys are asking about Sam. Sam will see the doctor today. So obviously he's in the concussion protocol. We'll wait and see where he's at before, any next step. So don't have a lot hypothetically after that. Just waiting to see, obviously I saw him this morning walk around, but waiting to see how his doctor's appointment goes. So with that, I'll see if you guys have any questions about this.
All right, that was Coach Matt Rule. We'd love to thank the Carolina Panthers for allowing us the use of that audio. And you listen to Matt, he talked about the things we talked about. What you had to do to win. Zane Gonzalez, coming through. That was a big, big question at the beginning of the year, when we let Joey Sly go. And now Zane Gonzalez has been, doing a heck of a job, as well as Sam Darnold. We don't know, folks. And I said I'd talk about this later, but, you have to think Sam Darnold at the most is going to be out 1 game. Now, I'm not a medical advisor. I'm not the team doctor, so I can't be sure, but I would expect Sam to be out, at least 1 game, if 1 game. If he's out the 1 game, you don't bring in a quarterback for 1 game. You're going to have to go with P.J. Walker. And what you do, folks, and we'll talk more about this Wednesday night on Frankly Speaking Panthers, but you go with the same game plan that you use. You take a blueprint of what you did yesterday and you utilize it in this game. Also, Christian McCaffrey may be back. Whether or not McCaffrey is back or Donald is back, the same plan needs to be used. Walker can run with the ball. We know what Hubbard can do. Amir is just an incredible addition to this team, not just from the running back, how tough he is running the ball, but how he is catching the ball out of the backfield. And you saw that yesterday. And then again, you got Royce Freeman. So you run the ball versus New England. You use play action. Once in a while, you try to go deep, whether it's with Walker or whether it's with Donald, whoever is the quarterback, and you'll win this ball game. But we'll talk more about that on Wednesday on Frankly Speaking Panthers. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a quick 15-second station break to allow our stations to identify themselves. And then when we come back, we're going to talk. We got World Series baseball. We got the Hornets. We got the Hurricanes. Wow, do we got a lot going on in the Carolina area. Also, we got a phone number scrolling on the bottom if you'd like to call in. 813-922-9810, or leave a comment under the comment section. We'll be more than happy to get to your question or concern as quickly as we can. We'll be back right after this. You are watching Frankly Speaking Sports, live from Charlotte, North Carolina. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Frankly Speaking Sports. I'm your host, Larry Frank, and I'll tell you what, you've been so busy with everything going on in the Carolina area. We got the Hornets starting off great. We got the Hurricanes starting off great. You got the Panthers with a big win yesterday. How about those Atlanta Braves who did lose Game 5 yesterday, but one game. They need to win one out of the next two games to be the World Series champion. Unfortunately, they won't be able to do it in Atlanta. It'll have to be done in Houston, as yesterday in Game 5 of the World Series, it looked like the Braves were off to a great start when Adam Duvall hit a grand slam. He gave him a 4-0 lead in the first inning. But, hold on a minute. This is the Houston Astros, who have an offense that is unbelievable. Carlos Correa goes 3 for 5, 2 RBIs. Bring the Astros back as they score 9 runs to defeat the Braves 9-5 and force a Game 6 in Houston. So that'll be tomorrow night back in Houston, 8:09 p.m. What a series for the Atlanta Braves. For Eddie Rosario, who's batting .411, 25 hits, and has scored 10 runs. Freddie Freeman hit a homer yesterday for the 5th run. He has 4 homers, 9 RBIs in the playoffs. And don't let it get down to Will Smith tomorrow, because Will Smith, 6 saves and a 0.00 ERA in the playoffs. Meanwhile, the Astros are led by Michael Brantley, batting .308. Has 20 hits in the playoffs. And how about the little guy, Jose Altuve, 5 homers and 9 RBIs. For those of you fans, Atlanta Brave fans and Astros fans, once again, this game is 8 o'clock tomorrow. It'll be Luis Garcia, who is 1-2 with a 7.62 ERA in the playoffs, going against Mac Fried, who is 1-2 with a 4.98 ERA in the playoffs. As far as regular season goes, Garcia was 11-8, 3.30 ERA. Fried was 14-7 with a 3.04 ERA. And that's the one thing about this World Series, folks. When you look at, here's an Atlanta Braves team that when you looked at right before All-Star break, Ronald Acuna Jr. gets hurt, you think their season's over. They're probably going to be sellers, right? No. Atropoulos says no, the GM, Alex Atropoulos, and he goes out, he acquires Jack Peterson, he acquires, Soler, he got Rodriguez in the bullpen. Went and got Adam Duvall. Just a bunch of players who have been very, very helpful for this Atlanta Braves team. Pretty much redone the entire outfield. They have an unbelievable infield, as everybody already knows. With Rosario and Swansby, just incredible. Freddie Freeman. This team is a good team. Then you got the Astros, who are just as effective on the offensive side of the ball, who are just unbelievable. They can come back, score runs anytime, led the league in most offensive categories with home runs, RBIs, OPSs. Incredible season for the Astros. The one thing, if this comes down to the end, comes down to a bullpen match, I think this is going to go the Braves' way. The Braves do not want this to go to a Game 7. Once again, they do not want this to go to a Game 7 because should this go to a Game 7, I think the fave has got to be in Houston, especially that means they would have won 2 in a row with their backs against the wall, and they'd be playing in Houston. So big game for both teams, obviously, tomorrow because the Astros got to win to stay alive, but it'd be very beneficial if the Braves can go ahead into Houston and get this over with tomorrow. Either way, Wednesday night will be the last baseball game of the year if the Astros should win tomorrow night. So tomorrow night, Fox Television, World Series, 8:09 p.m. It should be a good one. Let's go, Braves. I'm pulling for the Braves. Here, my buddy Chip Carey over there. So let's hope they can go out and win. We're going to go ahead, take another quick 15-second station break. When we come back, we're going to talk some Charlotte Hornets basketball. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Frankly Speaking Sports. I'm your host, Larry Franken. You know, Charlotte Hornets have been playing well all season long, but the one problem they've been having the entire season has been getting off to a slow start. And tonight was no different as they fell behind by 11 points at halftime, and it was just a little too much for them to get back and win this game, as they were defeated by the Cleveland Cavaliers tonight, 113-110. LaMelo Ball, 30.6 assists, 7 rebounds, 5 for 8 from the three-point arc. Meanwhile, Miles Bridges, 8 assists, 9 rebounds, did not have his ordinary game, was only 1 for 7 from three-pointer. If you look at the statistics in this game, the Hornets were 15 of 39 from three-point range, 73% from free throws. They had 17 turnovers, most of them early in the game, and shot 41.2% from the field. Like I said, Rozier had 23 points, Bridges 13 points, P.J. Washington 18 points, 6 for 9 field goals, 2 for 3 3-pointers off the bench. But it was not enough as the Charlotte Hornets fall to 5-3 on the season, losing 113-110 to the Cleveland Cavaliers. And I'm looking here, I apologize, folks. When you look at the Charlotte Hornets, and you look at their statistics this year and how they're doing, let me see if I can find some stats for you. I want to go ahead and pull this up. But they played a game over the weekend where they beat Portland 125-113. Hornets outscored Portland 72-53 in the second half. Once again, they struggled in the first half. LaMelo Ball led that game, 27 points, 7 assists, 9 rebounds. Bridges, 19 points, 9 assists, 6 rebounds. But this is a team that has a lot of potential. Lots and lots and lots of potential. And it seems like on every other night, it's somebody else helping this team. Unfortunately, tonight wasn't not enough, but when you look at Ball, Bridges, Rozier is now healthy, Haywood, Mason Plumlee, Kelly Oubre, Cody Martin, you got Ish Smith, PJ Washington. I mean, this is a team with a lot of depth that will only get better as the season goes on. The more they play together, the better this team will get. And if you look at some of their statistics before tonight's game, they're leading the NBA in points scored per game. They're fourth in the league in field goal percentage. They're first in three-point percentage, first in three-point shots made, third in assists with 27.4. Their assist-to-turnover ratio is the best in the NBA at 2.2. On the season, Miles Bridges is averaging 24.6 points a game, 7.7 rebounds, 2.7 assists. LaMelo Ball, 18.7 points, 40.8% field goals, 41.2% from three-pointers, 92.3% from free throw. Haywood is averaging 18.1, Aubrey 16.3 points, and Rozier 10.0. So this is a good, very good Charlotte Hornets team. And I'll tell you what, if you're a fan here in the Charlotte area and you want to get out there and you want to go to a ball game, go to the Hornets. I'll tell you what, you talk about inexpensive tickets. You can go to a Hornets game for $10. $10 and see the game and see it well. And the way this team is playing, I know, what are they, 5-2, 5-3 right now? This is a team that is going to be good. When you look at the records in the as far as the Eastern Conference go, Miami is 5-1, Washington 5-1, Charlotte 5-3, Atlanta 3-3, and then the Orlando Magic 1-6. Right now, Charlotte is 2-2 at home, 3-1 on the road. This is a good ball club, folks. Now, let's go ahead and just look at some of the other. We don't talk a lot of NBA yet. We will after baseball season gets through. But the New York Knicks, 5-1, leading the Atlantic Division over the Philadelphia 76ers, who are 4-2. They're 2-1 at home, 3-0 on the road for New York. The Central Division is led by Chicago Bulls, who are 5-1. And then, like I said, the Miami Heat are leading the Southeast. If you go to the Western Conference, Golden State Warriors, 5-1, ahead of the Lakers, who are 4-3 in the Pacific. In the Southwest of the Western Division, very close so far, Dallas 4-2, Memphis 3-3, and then the Northwest of the Western Division, Utah 5-1, Denver 4-2, and Minnesota 3-2. So the season just got started. It's just underway. And, I would say the biggest surprise right now has to be the New York Knicks. I mean, when you look at the New York Knicks, and, they're a terrific ball club. But when you look at this team, you got Julius Randle averaging 20.8 points a game, 11.2 rebounds, 6.5 assists. Fournier's averaging 17.5. R.J. Barrett's averaging 17.2. Kemba Walker, 15 points a game. And then Derrick Rose is averaging 12.3. So the New York Knicks off to a 5-1 start. 5-1 start right now in that Eastern Division. And once again, if you're just joining us, the Hornets fell victim to the Cleveland Cavaliers tonight, 113-110. And once again, just a matter of this team. They need to figure out, why are we getting off to such a slow start? What is different about the second half of basketball than the first half of the game that makes them click? And they need to go ahead and start out like that from the very beginning. This is a good team, relies on the three-point shot, is second in the league, I believe, to the New York Knicks. right now after tonight's game in making three-pointers. Oh, actually, they may still be first. So this is a team that can score points. I already told you they're first in the NBA in points per game. So with a little bit more defense, a little bit more hustle on the defensive side of the ball, and not allowing teams to get off to a quick start, you're going to see a very, very, very exciting team for the Charlotte Hornets throughout the year. And I'll tell you right now, I'll go out on a limb and I'll say it right now, folks, that, if the Charlotte Hornets, if the Hornets don't go ahead and actually make the playoffs at least this year, I would be very disappointed and I would be very, very surprised. So we'll see how it all plays out. It's a long, long season. I think it's 82 games. They played 8 games so far, so we got a long way to go. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to remind you that if you want to leave a comment, if you want to go ahead and leave a message under the comment section, call in. There's a phone number to call in scrolling on the bottom. Go ahead, call in. We'll get you live on the air. We won't have you by video, but we'll have you by audio, and we'll go ahead and answer your question, whether it's pertaining to the Hornets, the Carolina Hurricanes, who we're about to talk about, the Carolina Panthers, who we talked about the first half of our show, defeating the Atlanta Falcons by the score of, 19-13 yesterday, I think it was. So a lot of good things to talk about. Tomorrow night, we want to remind you at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time on our Frankly Speaking Sports Network on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. We will have College Football Tuesday. Myself and Zach McKinnell from the Blue Bloods will be breaking down. First, we'll review some of the amazing games. The Michigan State game that happened this weekend. The Miami-Pitt game. Miami has found a quarterback in Tyler Van Dyke. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about some upcoming games this weekend. Big game. Cincinnati, number 2 in the country, baby. We'll talk about that. Lots and lots of good stuff to break down with Zach tomorrow on College Football Tuesday. And then on Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Time on those same channels, we bring you, Frankly Speaking, Panthers. We will preview the upcoming game right here in Charlotte versus the Panthers and the New England Patriots. Rookie Mac Jones joins us. Mac Jones will play our Carolina Panthers. Should be a great game. We'll talk about what they need to do to win this game like they did versus the Atlanta Falcons. And we'll hopefully have a guest on that night to break down the New England Patriots and tell us what we should expect from them. But my goodness gracious, folks, when we come back, boy, do we have another remarkable story happening here in Carolina, about 2 hours away from Charlotte, near Raleigh, and that's the Carolina Hurricanes. Carolina Hurricanes, folks, listen to me when I say this. 8-0. 8-0 after a 2-1 win from the Arizona Coyotes last night in another incredible game. We'll be right back to talk about that game. You are watching Frankly Speaking Sports, live from Charlotte, North Carolina. Welcome back to Frankly Speaking Sports. Once again, I want to remind all the fans that are listening on all the different networks, if you like to call in and talk about anything regarding Carolina sports, whether it's the Panthers' big win yesterday, the Hornets' unfortunate loss this evening to the Cleveland Cavaliers, all about the 8-0 Carolina Hurricanes, which we're about to get started on right now. Please go ahead. Don't be shy. We would definitely love to talk to you about it. So please go ahead and either call in on the number that is scrolling on the bottom, leave a message under the comment section, or get in touch with us however you want, and we'll be more than happy to answer those questions for you. But, the big thing here now, Carolina hockey season had started. This was a good hockey team, the Hurricanes last year. They played the Lightning pretty well in the playoffs. Obviously, the Tampa Bay Lightning went on to win the Stanley Cup, but now the Hurricanes are back bigger and better than ever. And I'll tell you what, folks, it's not just the offense on this team. This is an unbelievable defensive team for the Carolina Hurricanes. They are currently 8-0. Okay, 8-0 on the season. This is a team that has only given up, if I'm correct, they have given up 12 goals in 8 games. And this is a team led by Andrei Svechnikov, who has 7 goals, 4 assists, and 11 points in 8 games. Sebastian Aho, 5 goals, 5 assists, 3 of those power play goals. What can you say about Tony DeAngelo? 2 goals, 7 assists. Trocheck has 2 goals, 6 assists. But this team on defense is blocking shot after shot after shot. When you look at Ian Cole, 11 blocked shots. You got Brandy Skagee, 9 blocks. Jacob Slavin, 7 blocks, 6 assists. Ethan Bear, 7 blocks. Sunday night, they won 2-1 over the Arizona Coyotes. The Hurricanes won 64% of the faceoffs in that game, only allowed 23 shots on goal. And when you look at this Carolina team, though, a couple of things they're doing very well. They're playing great hockey in front of their goaltender, which has been Frederick Anderson. But the other night they used that backup goalie. I'm looking to see if I had. They used that backup goalie the other night. But overall, it's been Frederick Anderson. Here we go. The Hurricanes only allowed 8 goals in 12 games. That's the best in the NHL. They got the 4th best power play at 28.1%, 5th best penalty kill at 88.9%. Rayenta played his first game in net over the weekend, had 23 saves on 26 shots. Frederick Anderson, 7-0 with a 1.29 goals against average. He has only allowed 9 goals in 205 shots on goal. Incredible start for the Hurricanes and Frederick Anderson. But also, when you look at this team, as I was saying, they play great defense. I mean, they don't allow any extra shots. They block a lot of shots in front. That's why you don't see a lot of teams. I think teams are averaging basically, it's roughly 20-something shots on goal per game, which just shows you how incredible this defense is really playing. The other night, it was Martin Nikas, 1 goal and assist. Brett Pesce had a power play goal as well for Carolina in that 2-1 victory over the Coyotes. But this is probably, I'm telling you what, folks, when you watch this Hurricane team, too bad you can't put their defense on the basketball court for the Hornets during the first half of games. And I'll tell you what, this Carolina Hurricane hockey team's defense is just incredible. Gonna see if I can get some stats for you. I gave you most of the stats. Let me see. Let's go to the standings. here, the Hurricanes. All right, 8-0. Let me see what I'm trying to get some stats here for you folks, so stay with me here. All right, here we go. Yeah, goals for, they got 33 goals for, second in the NHL. Goals against 12, which is first in the NHL. They have 56 assists, which is third. Shooting percentage 12.09, fourth in the NHL. Power play percentage 28.1, fourth in the NHL. Penalty kill 88.9, which is fifth in the NHL. Just an amazing start to the season for your Carolina Hurricanes. And let's see when they play. They're 8-0, leading their division in the Metropolitan right now at an 8-0 record. The team behind them is the Washington Capitals, who are also undefeated, but have only played 5 games. And then you got the Rangers at 6-2. In the Eastern Division, Atlantic Division, the Florida Panthers, 8-0. 8-0 in the season, 5-0 at home. They do have, I believe, one overtime loss. So that would actually be not undefeated. Then they're leading with 17 points. So I take that back. You got Buffalo at 5-2, Detroit 4-3, and how about the Tampa Bay Lightning, the defending Stanley Cup champions, at 4-3-1 with 9 points to start the season. So they're struggling a little bit. As you move over to the Western Division, who's doing well there? Let's find out. St. Louis 6-1-0, leading the Central. Winnipeg in second at 4-2. Then if you go to the Pacific Division of the Western Conference, Calgary 6-1-1. And then Edmonton 6-1. So, Carolina off to a terrific start. So good for them. We wish them the best of luck the rest of the way. I think they play, try to look at everything here while I'm at it. NHL, let's see. Tomorrow night, it's going to be Wednesday night. The Hurricanes play the Blackhawks at 8:30 p.m. in Chicago. And folks, listen to this. I don't know when the last time I heard this was. The Blackhawks play the Hurricanes in Chicago Wednesday night, and the Blackhawks are currently 0-7-2 on the season. They have not won a game the entire year. So hopefully the Hurricanes will go in there, win that game, and be 9-0. So what a great start for that. And then the game of the night might be Saturday night, November 6th, when the Hurricanes, who are undefeated right now, would go on to play the Panthers, who are currently 8-0-1 on the season. So a lot of good things going forward for the Carolina Hurricanes. And folks, for those of you joining us, once again, we got about 10 minutes in the show. We threw a lot into this show tonight. We talked about earlier about the Panthers defeating the Falcons, but losing quarterback Sam Darnold. We talked about the Hurricanes. We talked about the Hornets. We talked about the Atlanta Braves. We talked about a lot of things. You want to go ahead, call in, get on the show live, 813-922-9810. That's the number that is scrolling along the bottom of your screen. Go ahead and give us a quick call. I'd love to answer any question you may have. Also, if you don't want to call, you're shy, we have a comment section. Comment section's used every day on this show. Go ahead, please leave a message under the comment section, and I'll try to get to it before our show comes to a conclusion. One of the text line people wanted to know, one of the listeners, on whether, and I don't think we talked about this earlier, not sure if this listener came on late or not, but they want to know, should tomorrow night, I believe 4 p.m., actually in the afternoon, the trading deadline ends in the NFL. Should the Carolina Panthers go after a quarterback since they're not sure about the health of Sam Darnold? And as of now, I would say no. You might need somebody to back up for PJ in case he has to play this week. But first of all, I don't think Sam Darnold will be out past this week. And the last thing you want to do is bring in a guy for 1 week that is not going to be necessary for your team. Sam Darnold showed yesterday that if the right offensive game plan is used, that he can win ball games for your team. He is not the type of quarterback that is going to put, and I've said this many times before, he's not going to put the team on his shoulders and carry them. He is going to lead a team by just having to do what is necessary from the quarterback position. And yesterday, they simplified the game for Sam. That's what they did. They ran the ball. And by running the ball, you're not predictable anymore. Sam was not predictable. They did not know, the Falcons, what was coming after them. They didn't know whether they were going to run. They didn't know whether they were going to pass. They did not know what was going on because of the effectiveness of the play calling and the execution of the running game. And that's why this team was successful yesterday. When you are not predictable, you make it so much more difficult for the defensive team to execute their game plan. And that's what worked so well yesterday for the Carolina Panthers, and it'll continue to work as long as they stick to the script. Now, they can't deviate. It worked this week. The worst thing you can do is come out next week and change your entire game plan. I don't care if it's PJ Walker. I don't care if it's Sam Darnold. I don't care if it's Cam Newton or Deshaun Watson. Whoever your quarterback is next week, the game plan should be the same. Run the ball, run the ball, run the ball. Sustain drives, run the ball, win time of possession, and don't turn over the rock. And you will win that game. You will win that game. But to go out and get another quarterback right now, I mean, this isn't like the situation in New Orleans right now where Jameis Winston is hurt and out for the season. Okay? This is not like that. This is different. This is maybe 1 week, might not even be a week. And that's what, Coach Rule was saying. We have to see the remainder of the week, how Sam is feeling, what the prognosis is by the doctors, and they'll let us know whether he should play or not. But at the same time, they're not going to let this young man go out there if his head isn't on straight and get beat up and get more damage done to him. So, there's more at stake than just a football game here. But if it's for one game, it just, to me, doesn't make sense to go out and spend money and trade. Now, if you're looking to better your team, should the Panthers, will they sell? Will they do this? Will they do that? A lot of questions on whether Christian McCaffrey will still be a Panther by tomorrow evening. At the end of the day, Christian McCaffrey is probably by arguably the best running back, all-purpose back that the Panthers have ever had. Okay? And I know we've had a couple good backs before, so no discredit to them. But at the end of the day, you got to ask yourself, what is the stock in keeping McCaffrey? Okay, first couple of years he has no injuries and plays every game. Last 2 years, last year he played 6 out of 16 games. Right now he's missed 3 or 4 games. He might miss another game. His what's the word I'm looking for? his reliability is fading a little bit as he gets older and as he gets more beat up in the NFL. So you're going to have to really weigh the options and say, okay, what am I getting? What is my reward for giving this player up? Does it make sense? You're not playing for this year, folks. You're playing to build a team so that they can be good, not just for this year, but upcoming years. And that's why this team is so exciting, because they're so young and they have so much potential. So you got to see what's out there and what you can get. Now, by no means do I just give away Christian McCaffrey to say I gave away Christian McCaffrey. It's got to be something attractive to you, whether it's a major pick, second-round pick, or first-round pick, whatever. Remember, I don't think the Panthers have any second or third-round picks last year. It's got to be something really, really attractive. You listen. You take offers, and at the end of the day, Fitterer, Matt Rule, they're going to have to make decisions on what's best for this team. And if they feel the best thing for this team at that time is to do away with McCaffrey and get a nice package back, that is a choice they have to make for the future, and the fans are going to have to understand that. But by no means would I like to see Christian McCaffrey go. I love watching Christian McCaffrey, think he's a great back, but at the end of the day, if he's not going to be on the playing field for you on a consistent basis, he is doing the team no good. This isn't about like or dislike. This is a business. And at the end of the day, when you're paying somebody money, there has to be a return for that expense. And right now, folks, the last 2 years, there hasn't been no return for the investment that they're making. So that's going to really be what it comes down to, is how much left do they feel is in the tank of Christian McCaffrey, and then they need to make a decision. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of everybody here on Frankly Speaking Sports, we want to remind you, we are on Facebook Live, we are on Twitch Live, we are on YouTube Live, and of course, we, as always, are on Tobacco Road Sports Radio. Want to remind you, tomorrow evening, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, on the Frankly Speaking Sports Networks, we will have College Football Tuesday. Myself, along with Zach McKinnell of the Blue Bloods, will preview some of the most amazing games that happened last weekend. Auburn's big win, Michigan State's big win, Miami's big win. Lots and lots to talk about. Wake Forest 8-0. We'll talk about that tomorrow as well. Once again, 9 p.m. Eastern Time on your Frankly Speaking Sports Networks. Then it's Wednesday night, Frankly Speaking Panthers, one of the biggest, fastest growing internet Panthers show around right now. Unbelievable ratings over the past couple weeks. Want to thank you all for that. We'll break down the Carolina Panthers and their next opponent, the New England Patriots, this upcoming game Sunday here in Charlotte. On behalf of all of us here on Frankly Speaking Sports, I want to thank you very much for watching, and until next time, good night.